distress call came at 0300 hours, slicing through the silence of the diplomatic quarters like a blade. Commander Jarrick's ears flattened against his skull as the emergency frequency crackled alive. His second-in-command's voice trembled with barely controlled panic. Alpha, the cub is missing. Knox is gone. Jarrick was on his feet before conscious thought could catch up with instinct. His claws extended involuntarily, carving deep marks into the metal desk as his mind raced through the worst possibilities. The station was neutral territory, but neutral didn't mean safe. Not for a juvenile felinar, barely past his first molt, whose curiosity far outweighed his survival instincts. "Lock down Section 7, Jarrick ordered, his voice carrying the authority that had earned him his rank. "Send hunting parties. Now." There was a pause. Then his second spoke again, more cautiously. "The human quarters, external sensors detected movement there 30 minutes ago." The words landed like ice in Jarrick's chest. Humans, the newest species to enter the galactic community. Strange. Unpredictable. Their reputation whispered in council chambers spoke of war, violence, and an unsettling instinct to bond like a pack. Dangerous in ways no one fully understood. And now, his cub, his brother's orphan son entrusted to his care, was somewhere in their territory. Jarrick moved through the corridors with lethal precision, his security team struggling to keep up. Every passing second tightened the grip of fear in his chest. Knox was small, vulnerable, his bright spots still marking his youth. On a station like this, there were many who would pay dearly for felinar genetics. Others would simply see prey. But humans were unknown, unpredictable. The door to the human diplomatic quarters stood slightly ajar. Jarrick slowed, his instincts warring within him. Protocol demanded he announce himself, request entry through proper channels. But if Knox was in danger, he shoved the door open. The scene inside stopped him cold. The human female Era, his memory supplied, a junior diplomat, sat cross-legged on the floor. Her face showed no aggression, no triumph. Only calm. And there, curled in her lap as if he belonged, was Knox. The cub was asleep, deeply, peacefully. His small chest rose and fell in steady rhythm. One of Era's hands rested gently on his back, moving in slow, soothing circles. The other held a datapad, which she quietly set aside as Jarrick entered. "Commander," she said softly, "I was just about to contact you." Jarrick's translator struggled to interpret her tone. Concern? Apology? His instincts screamed at him to grab Knox immediately, to put distance between the cub and this alien. But Knox didn't stir. Not even at his presence. That stillness spoke of something deeper. Trust. "Explain," Jarrick said, forcing his voice to remain steady. Era nodded slightly, her hand never stopping its gentle motion. "He came through the ventilation system about 40 minutes ago. He was terrified. I think there was an environmental malfunction, loud noises, pressure changes. It must have frightened him." Jarrick's ears twitched. The maintenance alert. He had dismissed it as routine. "I tried to contact your quarters," she continued, "but your communications were in privacy mode. I thought about taking him to security, but..." She glanced down at Knox, something soft crossing her features. He was trembling so badly. He needed to feel safe first. Jarrick's voice came out sharper than intended. "You could have harmed him. Your kind, we've heard the stories." Era met his gaze, calm but firm. "Your capacity for violence," she said gently, "is matched only by your capacity for protection." Jarrick stilled. "On Earth," she continued, "we have a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. We may be fierce, Commander, but we are fiercest when defending those who cannot defend themselves, especially children. Any children." As if in response, Knox stirred slightly, letting out a soft, contented chirp. His paw flexed gently against her leg, claws carefully sheathed. Even in sleep, he had adjusted himself not to harm her. The realization struck Jarrick harder than any blow. This human had not just spared the cub. She had understood him, comforted him, protected him. The cub felt safe. "On my world," Jarrick said slowly, lowering himself into a crouch to appear less threatening. "When we say someone has the heart of a hunter, it means they are capable of great violence." Era listened quietly. "But it also means they understand the sacred duty of the strong toward the vulnerable. That true strength lies not in the kill, but in knowing when to stay the claws." Understanding flickered across her face. "We have a similar idea," she replied. "The strength of the wolf is the pack. And the strength of the pack is the wolf. Jarrick exhaled softly. You would have made a fine Felinar, he said, and realized he meant it. Era smiled faintly. And you, Commander, are a good guardian. Knox is lucky to have someone who loves him so fiercely. Something inside Jarrick finally settled. Slowly, he extended his hand. After a brief hesitation, Era took it. Her grip was firm, her skin warm against his furred palm. Thank you, Jarrick said quietly, for seeing past what you've heard. For seeing him as just a child who needed help. And thank you, Era replied, for trusting me with something so precious. When Knox finally woke, he found himself surrounded by his alpha, and the kind human who had sung to him in a strange, gentle language until his fear faded away. He purred softly, content and unaware that something greater had happened in that quiet moment. Two species had come to understand each other. Humanity, for all its fearsome reputation, knew how to protect. And the Felinar, for all their pride, knew how to recognize strength in unexpected places. Some bonds, it seemed, were universal. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.